Janice Torah, Parshat BeShalach, Take 1, Action.
Have you ever faced a situation where your GPS said to go one way due to traffic, but you're pretty sure that there's a faster way that's different? And you agonize over the decision until the final moment before you have to decide. When you finally decide, and then you're sitting in that slow traffic, you're stuck with that question, did I make the decision correctly? Maybe the other way would have been faster. And you can never know. Maybe the other one was cruising right along, or maybe it was crawling even slower. As the Israelites are leaving Egypt, they face a similar fork in the road, but God makes the decision for them. V'lo nacham Elokim derech eretz plishtim ki karovhu, ki amar Elokim pen yinachem ha'am birotam milchama v'shavu mitzrayma. Usually this is translated, God didn't lead them via the land of the Plishtim, the Philistines, because it was closer, because God said this might cause the nation to change their mind when they see war and return to Egypt. There's a great debate between the commentators about how to understand the smallest word in that pasuk, ki. One possible definition, which is also the modern Hebrew usage, is because, leading to the rendering that I just shared in accordance with Rashi. In this reading, the fact that it is close is the reason to avoid this routing. Going that way will lead to war sooner, and this nation just isn't ready. Another possible reading of this pasuk is using the word though. He didn't lead them via the land of the Plishtim, though it was closer. This reading, preferred by Ibn Ezra, indicates that the closeness of the land isn't the reason that they are avoiding that path, but rather an unfortunate side effect. They had to avoid that path because of war, in spite of the fact that it would have been the closest route. This reading takes into account the fact that at first glance entering the land would be an unquestionable good. After all, the promise God made to Bnei Israel, the children of Israel, through Moshe before the plagues, was not just that he would take them out, but that he would bring them to the land. To be brought out of slavery, to then be taken through the desert on a circuitous route, was not what anyone signed up for. How could going to the land faster be a bad thing? Yet, the people had undergone so much change. Just yesterday, they were slaves owned by others, having no control over their own destiny. Change can be hard, and change can be scary, even when it is good change. We may avoid the change even when we know what is best for us, and the word ki can indicate either that getting to the land quickly was dropped from the plans due to a necessary reroute, or that it is the very reason for the reroute. Here we have one tiny word, which is the key to understanding the whole pasuk. Was going into the land a change that was too much, too scary for a nation that had just been slaves? Or was it a huge letdown, a choice that God had to make to avoid war and thus create a major source of disappointment? I would like to offer that perhaps the ambiguity of the word ki is intentional. Having a word that can be interpreted in all of those ways allows us as the readers to encounter this reroute the way Bnei Israel experienced it in real time. Perhaps, as they learned where they were going, some people were relieved. Phew! I'm just recovering from slavery. I don't need to learn to be a soldier and all the complications of being a sovereign nation. I can enjoy my freedom for a bit in the desert without all that responsibility for a while. Others, maybe, were frustrated. We left Egypt, the only place we have ever known, in order to go to the promised land, not to hang around in the desert. Ugh! And at the same time, others probably held both of those sentiments at the same time. I was really looking forward to going to Israel, and I'm a little disappointed. But I'm also relieved to have a bit of time to adjust before I go there. The word ki allows for understanding the multitude of emotions that came over the Israelites all at the same time. We can often be complex with how we react to situations, And the Torah goes to great lengths to reflect that complexity with the simplest of words. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat